ate the meal and then the oil was all over.
There was a post hooking up with the jalapeno poppers?
I guess so.
That's dangerous.
Wild time.
Wild times.
But I remember him telling me the story,
young.
and the girl was like really freaked out because obviously like she's burning on fire, and he was, it's the whole thing.
I need to hear about your weight loss journey.
Okay. What a transition.
100 pounds that you lost without Ozempic. That's the new headline. Doesn't that piss you off?
Not really. I wonder if it was available, if I would have even taken advantage. I would have. Shout out. I'm just waiting for the Mounjaro, endorsement. Ben, my co-host on the Great Good Guys podcast here at Dear Media, he always gives me shit for calling it Mounjaro. He's like, it's Mun. I'm like, sounds like someone on the shit.
Yeah, how do you say it? Mounjaro?
Mounjaro.
Okay, so how did you why did you decide? Because there has to be some kind of epiphany. And then what tactics and tips did you take to lose 100 pounds? Because it's a lot of weight.
I was young, which helped. I was like 17. So in a weird way, it was like an excessive amount of puppy weight.
Why do you think you put on that much weight to begin with at that age?
I overdo it.
You overdo it?
I just overdo it.
You're an overdoer, huh?
I'm a big overdoer. I think I had some shit that I needed to work out, in my life with dad stuff and life stuff. And I didn't know at the time that I was probably sort of like numbing that with.
And sorry, was your dad ever in your life?
No.
Never. And did you ever meet him?
No, I never met him. And he passed away before I got a chance to. So shout out to him. Perfect record.
Wow.
You have to be sorry.
Were your parents together when he passed?
No.
No. Okay. So just...
Can you imagine if my parents were together, but I'd never met him?
Well, I didn't know.
Does that make any sense?
No. Okay. It would be, listen, I was saying like, where's your mom pregnant? And then he passed while she was pregnant.
Where's dad? He's downstairs. Leave him alone.
Like my thought was like they were together. She was pregnant. He passed before you were born.
Oh, sure. No. They kind of had a sort of rendezvous. She was one of his concubines, and okay. It was a random night in New York, and they did, and she became pregnant at 43. And
wow.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Well, it does make sense because you're here and you're thriving.
Here. I'm thriving. I'm very lucky. It all
makes sense. Everything's happening for you. That's what I say to myself every morning when I wake up.
What other affirmations do you have?
That's my main one. Everything's happening for you. I believe that. So if I miss my plane, everything's happening for me.
Love that.
It works. It works great. You should try it.
It's so fucking frustrating. It's so good. She'll be like, it'd just be like 4:30 in the morning. Like, you have to be at the airport in 30 minutes. She's like, nah, I think I'm good. And I'm like, no. And then she misses. I'm like, she's like, everything's happening for me. I'm like, no, you. I'm like, you had to be up like an hour and a half before that.
Sure.
Okay, I'm trying to get Josh's weight loss tips, please.
Everything's happening for us.
Yeah, go ahead. Explain your tips. How'd you even start? What was the first thing you changed?
It wasn't that special. I remember I was 17. We used to spend a month over the summer in New York. So I would go see all my friends and whatnot. And I just kind of I let go of a lot of that anger. And I don't know about the dad stuff and the life stuff and whatever. And just like angry young men, you know what I mean? That angst.
Sure.
And I started walking the city, which was my favorite thing to do. And I would like listen to music. And I just felt like it was possible. And I did Atkins, old school carnivore. Love it. And, and I probably knocked off like 30 or 40 pounds the first month or two. And then over the next like year and a half, I lost the rest of the weight.
It's probably super empowering when you see that kind of weight come off that quickly, right? Like you start to be like, I can do it.
Yeah, it's helpful. And look, I understand why people are fascinated by it. And I think for me, had I done it sort of more privately, or I wasn't in such a public place, I think I probably would think about it, be less a part of my story, because it would just be like, wow, you were like, we'd look back at yearbooks and be like, geez, Josh, like, do you have a thyroid issue? And I'd be like, I had a Snickers issue. But really, I lost weight very publicly. And so understandably, people are very interested in it. So and I'm glad if in some way me being heavier on TV could like empower other kids who didn't fit like the perfect body type or whatever to be like, wow, he's having a good time and he's not tripping on how he looks.
Yeah, well, I think people can see it's possible.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't feel like it's like a lot of people anything, right? They just feel like that's for other people, not for me type thing, right? And they see like, oh, somebody...
Or I couldn't do that.
Yeah, or like, but they see someone who maybe they see themselves in, or that they're relatable, or that's relatable to them, and they're like, oh, if he or she can do it, then I can too, type thing.
Totally. And, you know, the beautiful thing that has come out of sort of like the last 10 years of really this body positivity 180 is that there are all these beautiful body types and looks that are embraced and sort of, they're just very well, you know, people are getting roles now in ways that didn't happen when I was sort of on TV
Sure.
in that way. So I think that's great.
When people slide into your DMs, what's the most?
It's all bots.
No,
So
I don't
boring.
believe it. What are people saying? Are they like trying to hook up with you? Are they trying to reminisce? Are they trying to ask a question about a hot tip on how to lose weight? What's the common denominator?
I don't know. It's unhinged.
I know,
I
that's
mean,
why I can't wait.
I'm
Why
pretty-
is it unhinged?
I'm very publicly married and happy, like married guy. So I think people are pretty respectful of that. And then it's a lot of bots. It's
There's
like-
no butthole.
No. Are you getting butthole?
I've got a throbbing, veiny penis multiple times.
Wow, Mazel. What's wrong with us?
I don't
What?
know. I don't know why. I've never understood. Like,
My
this'll get her.
favorite one, I even talked about
Yeah,
this one on the
that one.
podcast. My favorite one was when I got one of a guy fucking a dildo on a bathtub ledge up and down.
Hmm,
And that one was unique. You don't
that
get
is
it.
unique.
But
Yeah.
it got your attention, and you're talking about it on
It
the podcast.
was years ago.
What and was it just the video or was there a caption?
There was no caption. It was just the guy fucking the dildo off the bathtub.
It'd be nice if he put a little thought into
A
the
little, I
caption,
he could have done a heart.
Like if he just wrote, whoops.
Yeah.
you
Or
know?
like, or wrong person. That's a good one. If you want to do it, you could say wrong. Taylor's done that. He's laughing so hard because he knows.
Taylor's
he's-
gone. Taylor's not in the room anymore.
And then there was another one that I got where a girl cut my face out of every single picture of me and Michael and implemented her face into it. And then I had someone send me all these pictures that were of me, but with my face cut out with her face, saying that Michael was cheating on me. That was you. I mean,
She
there's got. I
catfished us.
feel like you got to get like an interesting. There's got to be a couple DMs that you're just like,
Shout out.
like crazy.
No, it's random. Mostly it's people asking me to be on their podcast.
Oh.
It's a lot of podcast requests. The one guy hits me up to be he's like, you seem to need a jeweler. I'm like, baby, I got 2 kids and a wife. The last thing I need is a high-end jeweler in Miami, dog.